The medical establishment has been lying to men over 60 about one of the most natural human behaviors. What they call healthy abstinence is actually destroying your body in ways you never imagined. I'm Dr. Eva Hart, and in my 14 years specializing in men's health after 60, I've seen the devastating aftermath when men suddenly stop masturbating. They come to my office confused, ashamed, and suffering from symptoms no one warned them about. This isn't your fault. Doctors, family members, even well-meaning spouses convince men that stopping is healthier or more appropriate at their age. What they don't tell you is that sudden disruption creates a cascade of serious health consequences. I've counseled hundreds of men facing the same struggle. Men who thought they were making responsible decisions, only to find themselves battling prostatic inflammation, cognitive decline, sleep disorders, depression, muscle weakness, cardiovascular problems, and immune suppression. I'll reveal the 7 most dangerous consequences I've documented. Some will shock you. Others will finally explain symptoms you've been experiencing but couldn't understand. This is about your overall well-being, mental clarity, physical strength, and confidence as a man. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal the most overlooked consequence that's silently destroying your immune system. And if this resonates with you, share in the comments what speaks to you most. What happened to Marcus last month will change everything you think you know about this subject. 65, he made one decision that nearly destroyed his health within weeks. Consequence number 1, congestion and inflammation of the prostate. Marcus walked into my office hunched over, his face etched with pain. 3 months earlier, this retired firefighter had decided to stop masturbating completely after his wife suggested it was undignified for a grandfather. Now he could barely sit through our consultation. "Doctor, something's terribly wrong," Marcus whispered, shifting uncomfortably. "I have this constant ache deep inside. Sitting hurts, standing hurts, and I'm up 6 times every night trying to urinate." What Marcus didn't know was that his prostate had become a ticking time bomb. For over 4 decades, regular ejaculation had been his prostate's natural drainage system. Without it, prostatic fluid was building up, creating pressure, inflammation, and the perfect breeding ground for bacterial overgrowth. Your prostate continuously produces about 30% of your seminal fluid. This fluid contains powerful antibacterial compounds that protect your urinary tract. When ejaculation stops, these protective substances stagnate. Pressure builds. Inflammation spreads. Harmful bacteria flourish while your natural defenses weaken. Research from Johns Hopkins reveals that men who ejaculate 21 times monthly have 33% lower prostate cancer risk. But what they don't discuss is the immediate inflammatory response when you go from regular ejaculation to complete abstinence. Consequences can be severe and develop within weeks. Marcus's prostate had swollen to nearly twice its normal size. His PSA levels had spiked. What started as a well-intentioned decision had created chronic prostatitis, a condition that can persist for years and significantly increase cancer risk. We developed a natural restoration protocol combining targeted nutrition, prostate massage techniques, and gradual return to healthy ejaculatory patterns. Within 6 weeks, Marcus was sleeping through the night. Pelvic pain disappeared. His urinary flow returned to normal. Most importantly, his fear was replaced with understanding about his body's natural needs. Your prostate doesn't understand moral judgments or social expectations. It understands biological necessity. When you deny that necessity, inflammation and disease follow inevitably. Speaking of biological necessity, there's something happening in your brain right now that's even more concerning than prostate inflammation. The neurological consequences of sudden abstinence are reshaping your mind in ways that would terrify you. Consequence number 2, cognitive fog and mental fatigue. 3 weeks after stopping masturbation, Robert couldn't balance his checkbook. This retired accountant, who had managed complex financial portfolios for 30 years, stared at numbers that might as well have been written in a foreign language. "I feel like someone wrapped my brain in thick cotton," Robert told me. Words escape me mid-sentence. I forget why I walked into a room. "My wife thinks I'm developing dementia." Robert wasn't developing dementia. He was experiencing neurochemical starvation. Regular sexual activity triggers the release of dopamine, oxytocin, prolactin, and endorphins, chemicals that directly impact memory formation, attention span, and executive function. When you suddenly remove this neurochemical stimulation, especially in the aging brain already dealing with declining neurotransmitter production, cognitive function collapses. Studies from Rutgers University demonstrate that sexual activity increases blood flow to all brain regions, delivering oxygen and nutrients essential for optimal cognitive performance. Remove this regular boost, and mental performance deteriorates rapidly. Dopamine, released during sexual activity, is crucial for motivation and mental clarity. It's the same neurotransmitter that Parkinson's patients lose, leading to cognitive decline. When you stop masturbating, you're essentially creating an artificial dopamine deficiency in your aging brain. Robert's brain scans showed decreased activity in areas responsible for executive function, memory consolidation, and attention. His neurologist was baffled until we identified the connection to his sudden sexual abstinence. Within 8 weeks of gradual neurochemical restoration, Robert's mental clarity returned. He was solving complex problems again, managing finances efficiently, and experiencing the sharp mental acuity he'd always prided himself on. Your brain after 60 desperately needs the neurochemical stimulation that sexual activity provides. Deny it completely, and watch your cognitive abilities deteriorate in ways that mimic serious neurological diseases. The neurochemical disruption affecting Robert's thinking was simultaneously destroying something else entirely. While his mind struggled with basic tasks during the day, his nights had become a waking nightmare. Consequence number 3: sleep disruption and insomnia. David hadn't slept properly in 2 months. At 65, he'd enjoyed restful nights for years, but after his wife convinced him that masturbation was undignified at their age, sleep became his enemy. "I lie awake until 3 a.m. with my mind racing," David explained, his eyes bloodshot from exhaustion. "When I finally drift off, I wake every hour. I feel like I haven't truly slept in months." What David didn't understand was that he'd unknowingly destroyed his body's natural sleep chemistry. For decades, the neurochemical release following ejaculation had been acting as his most powerful sleep aid. Prolactin, oxytocin, and endorphins create what sleep researchers call resolution phase sedation, your body's built-in mechanism for deep, restorative sleep. Remove this natural sleep trigger, and cortisol levels remain elevated, your nervous system stays hyperaroused, and your natural circadian rhythm becomes disrupted. Medical research shows sexual activity increases prolactin levels by 400%. Prolactin is one of your body's most potent natural sleep inducers, working by suppressing dopamine and allowing your brain to shift from alert arousal to the calm state necessary for deep sleep. But chronic sleep disruption after 60 doesn't just make you tired. It accelerates cognitive decline, weakens immune function, increases systemic inflammation, and dramatically raises cardiovascular disease risk. You're not just losing sleep, you're potentially shortening your lifespan. David's sleep study revealed severely fragmented sleep architecture. His REM sleep had decreased by 60%. His deep sleep stages were almost non-existent. His body was essentially running on empty, trying to function without the restorative sleep necessary for cellular repair. Within 6 weeks of comprehensive sleep architecture restoration combining natural prolactin-boosting techniques and gradual reintroduction of healthy sexual practices, David was sleeping through the night again. His energy returned, his mood stabilized, and he reported feeling decades younger. Your sleep after 60 depends on neurochemical processes that sexual activity naturally supports. Disrupt those processes, and you disrupt one of the most fundamental requirements for health and longevity. While David's sleepless nights were destroying his physical health, the same neurochemical disruption was creating an even more devastating consequence. Consequence number 4: depression and mood disorders. Thomas sat across from me, barely recognizable as the successful businessman his wife had described. 62, this formerly vibrant executive now spoke in monotone. His shoulders slumped, his eyes empty of the spark his family remembered. "I don't see the point in anything anymore," Thomas said quietly. "I've lost interest in my business, my hobbies, even spending time with my grandchildren. I feel like I'm disappearing piece by piece." 6 weeks earlier, Thomas had stopped masturbating after his doctor suggested it might help with his enlarged prostate. What followed was a descent into depression so severe his family feared for his safety. Regular ejaculation triggers the release of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, creating what neuroscientists call your happiness cocktail. Remove this regular neurochemical boost from an aging brain already producing less of these crucial mood-regulating chemicals, and depression can develop with shocking speed. Thomas was experiencing anhedonia, the complete inability to feel pleasure in activities that once brought joy. His brain's reward pathways, accustomed to regular stimulation through sexual activity, were essentially starving for the neurochemicals they'd come to depend on. Harvard Medical School research demonstrates that men who maintain regular sexual activity into their 60s and beyond have significantly lower rates of depression compared to those who become sexually inactive. The reason isn't psychological satisfaction, it's neurochemical necessity. Your aging brain doesn't produce neurotransmitters as efficiently as it did in youth. Regular sexual activity helps compensate for this natural decline. Remove that stimulation suddenly, and your brain struggles desperately to maintain emotional equilibrium. Thomas's family watched helplessly as he withdrew from life. No one connected his emotional collapse to the cessation of sexual activity. Within 3 months of comprehensive intervention addressing both the neurochemical aspects and the shame that had contributed to his decision, Thomas was laughing again, engaging enthusiastically with his family, and approaching life with renewed passion. Transformation was so dramatic his wife wept with relief. Your emotional well-being after 60 depends on neurochemical processes that sexual activity naturally supports. Deny your brain these essential chemicals, and watch your capacity for joy disappear. The neurochemical devastation affecting Thomas's mood was simultaneously attacking his physical body. While his mind struggled with depression, his muscles were weakening and his body was losing control of basic functions. Consequence number 5, pelvic floor muscle weakness. Harold's humiliation was complete. 68, this proud veteran was now wearing adult diapers to leave his house. 6 months after stopping masturbation because his wife deemed it inappropriate for a grandfather, Harold was losing control of his own body. "I leak when I cough, when I lift anything, sometimes even when I laugh," Harold confided. "I feel like I'm losing my dignity along with my bladder control." What Harold didn't realize was that regular ejaculation had been providing intense exercise for his pelvic floor muscles, the same muscles responsible for bladder control, bowel function, and sexual performance. These muscles contract rhythmically and powerfully during orgasm, maintaining their strength through this natural workout. Stop this regular muscle stimulation, especially after 60 when muscle mass naturally declines and these crucial muscles begin deteriorating rapidly. Pelvic floor is a complex network of muscles forming a supportive hammock across your pelvis. These muscles support your bladder, bowel, and sexual organs while controlling the release of urine and feces. Research from the International Urogynecological Association confirms that regular pelvic floor muscle contractions, the kind occurring naturally during sexual activity, are essential for maintaining continence and sexual function in aging men. Without this regular exercise, these muscles atrophy like any unused muscle group. But pelvic floor weakness doesn't just cause incontinence. It leads to pelvic organ prolapse, reduced sexual sensation, difficulty achieving erections, chronic pelvic pain, and compromised core stability. Harold's condition had progressed beyond simple stress incontinence to complex pelvic floor dysfunction, a condition affecting multiple organ systems. Within 4 months of comprehensive pelvic floor rehabilitation combined with gradual return to healthy sexual practices, Harold's incontinence resolved completely. His confidence returned, and he reported better sexual function than he'd experienced in years. Your pelvic floor muscles need regular, intense stimulation to remain strong and functional. Deny your muscles this essential exercise and watch your body lose control of basic functions. While Harold's muscles were weakening, the same lack of stimulation was attacking his cardiovascular system in ways that threatened his survival. Consequence number 6, cardiovascular deconditioning. The emergency room doctor was puzzled. A 63-year-old retired teacher with no history of heart problems was experiencing episodes of rapid heartbeat, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. 3 months after stopping masturbation due to concerns about his blood pressure medication, his cardiovascular system was failing. Sexual activity is cardiovascular exercise. During arousal and orgasm, your heart rate increases significantly, blood pressure rises temporarily, and circulation increases throughout your body. This creates what cardiologists call beneficial cardiovascular stress, controlled exercise that keeps your heart and blood vessels healthy. Remove this regular cardiovascular stimulation, especially after 60 when cardiac fitness naturally declines and alarming changes occur. Your heart becomes less efficient, blood vessels lose elasticity, and overall cardiovascular conditioning deteriorates. American Heart Association research demonstrates that regular sexual activity provides cardiovascular benefits equivalent to moderate exercise. During orgasm, heart rate increases to 120 to 160 beats per minute, similar to climbing stairs or brisk walking. But here's what's crucial for men over 60. Your cardiovascular system needs regular stimulation to maintain endothelial function, your blood vessels' ability to dilate and contract properly. This function is essential for cardiovascular health, blood pressure regulation, and circulation to vital organs. When you abruptly stop sexual activity, endothelial function deteriorates more rapidly than through aging alone, contributing to erectile dysfunction and increasing risk of heart disease and stroke. My patient's cardiovascular deconditioning had progressed to the point where simple activities like climbing stairs left him breathless and dizzy. Within 8 weeks of gradual cardiovascular reconditioning that included appropriate sexual activity as therapeutic exercise, his heart rhythm stabilized, exercise tolerance improved dramatically, and overall cardiovascular fitness increased significantly. Your cardiovascular system needs regular exercise to remain strong. Sexual activity provides unique conditioning that's difficult to replace with conventional exercise alone. Cardiovascular damage was severe, but there was something even more sinister happening. While his heart struggled, his body's most fundamental defense system was quietly failing. Consequence number 7: immune system suppression. Walter's doctor couldn't explain it. 66, this formerly healthy retiree had suffered 3 respiratory infections, severe shingles, and seemed to catch every virus in his community. 8 months after stopping masturbating following a mild heart attack, his immune system had collapsed. "I feel like my body can't fight anything off anymore," Walter told me. Every minor exposure becomes a major illness. What Walter didn't know was that sexual activity provides profound immune system benefits crucial after 60 when immune function naturally declines. During sexual arousal and orgasm, your body releases hormones and chemicals that directly boost immune function. Sexual activity increases immunoglobulin A (IgA) levels by up to 30%. IgA is your body's first line of defense against infections, found in saliva, tears, and mucous membranes. When you stop regular sexual activity, these protective levels plummet. Sexual activity also increases DHEA production, the anti-aging hormone that supports immune function, maintains muscle mass, supports cognitive function, and plays crucial roles in tissue repair. Research from Wilkes University found that people who have sex 1 to 2 times weekly have 30% higher IgA levels compared to those who have sex less frequently. For men over 60, this immune boost can mean the difference between staying healthy and battling recurring infections. But the immune benefits extend beyond IgA and DHEA. Sexual activity stimulates natural killer cells, enhances lymphocyte activity, and supports antibody production essential for fighting disease. Walter's immune system was operating at severe disadvantage. Laboratory tests showed dramatically reduced IgA levels, depleted natural killer cell activity, and compromised lymphocyte function. Within 6 months of comprehensive immune restoration protocol that included gradual return to healthy sexual activity, Walter's infection rate dropped dramatically. His energy increased substantially, and he reported feeling more resilient than he had in years. Your immune system after 60 needs every advantage it can get. Regular sexual activity provides immune benefits impossible to replace through other interventions alone. The 7 consequences we've explored represent a medical truth most doctors won't discuss. Abruptly stopping masturbation after 60 creates a cascade of serious health problems affecting your prostate, brain, sleep, mood, muscles, heart, and immune system. Your masculinity doesn't require abstinence, it requires balance, understanding, and respect for your body's biological needs. The shame surrounding male sexuality after 60 is literally destroying men's health and quality of life. If you're experiencing any of these consequences, understand that recovery is possible. Your body has remarkable ability to heal when you work with its natural patterns rather than against them. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for evidence-based health information that can transform your life after 60. Share this video with any man who might benefit from understanding these crucial connections between sexual health and overall well-being. In the comments, tell me which consequence surprised you most or share your own experiences. Your input helps me create content that truly serves men's health needs. Remember, your health journey doesn't end at 60, it evolves. Understanding and honoring your body's needs is the key to thriving in your later decades. Your vitality can be restored naturally, and you deserve to feel confident and healthy at any age.